Crews also make it into the top 10.
2009 Sasol South African Rally Championship. 4 V8 battles have been fought, and so far we've only had 2 victors. Johnny Gemmell won in Natal. Hargen Fecken bounced back by winning in the Western Cape. Gemmell returned the favour on the Sasol, and on the previous round, Hargen Fecken once again levelled the score.
The Rally of South Africa was round 4 of the championship. The demanding forest rally roads east of Ermelo in Mpumalanga traditionally provide a tough challenge, and this year was no different. Castrol Toyota's Mark Cronier jumped out the blocks and straight into the lead by winning both the opening 2 stages. But then came the infamous Jessie Vale stage. At 60 kilometers, by far the longest stage in South African rallying, and therefore also the most demanding. Enzo Kuhn became a victim of Jessie Vale after getting lost, before a small component in Cronier's car caused the gearbox to get stuck in 5th gear, dropping him out of the lead and out of contention for the rest of the event. To add to Castrol Toyota's woes, championship points leader Johnny Gemmell suffered a puncture and lost more than 2 minutes, and Jessie Vale claimed another victim. As with the year before, defending champion Hargen Fecken emerged from the long Jessie Vale stage in a blistering stage-winning time and took command of the Rally of South Africa. Fecken's closest rival was teammate Jan Habig, while Team Total's Jean-Pierre Damseau drove well to occupy 3rd at the end of a tough day 1. Day 2 saw a calculated drive by champion Fecken without taking any risks, while teammate Habig drove hard in an effort to chip away at Fecken's lead. In the end, the former champion got to within 23 seconds, but Fecken was once again victorious. After not reaching the finish for 3 consecutive events, Jean-Pierre Damseau made a welcome return to the podium by claiming a well-deserved 3rd position overall. Charles Wilken reached the finish in 5th overall, but maintained his perfect run of 4 consecutive production car victories. Gemmell's troubles and Fecken's victory sees the 2 rivals swap positions at the top of the championship leaderboard. With the season now exactly halfway, Jan Habig is only 15 points behind the lead, while Charles Wilken is still in 4th. But the S2000 machines of Mark Cronier, Enzo Kuhn and Thien Schubert are in hot pursuit. Stefan Wilken in a Class A7 car also appears in the top 10.
We now start the second half of the season here in the Eastern Cape. It's the home of Volkswagen. This is the Volkswagen Rally, but Volkswagen have one small problem.
In recent years, Volkswagen have struggled to win their own rally. It's all part of the fantastic rivalry between Volkswagen and Toyota, and there is nothing better for a manufacturer to win their rivals' rallies. Volkswagen have won the Toyota dealer rally many times, including earlier this year. But since the turn of the century, the Volkswagen Rally was especially dominated by Toyota and legendary driver Serge Damseau. In 2008, Toyota's Mark Cronier took over the baton and recorded his first ever overall rally win, again in Volkswagen's backyard. Besides championship points, pride is at stake here. Toyota would like nothing more than to continue their VW Rally winning streak, while Volkswagen would do everything in their power to turn the tables.
Serge in his time dominated this event, and Mark did very well last year. So obviously we'd like to continue that and, give them one back.
We have 3 good drivers, 3 good cars, and we're going to go maximum to try and change that to a level where we can go for a win here.
But before anyone will be crowned as winners, they will first have to face this, the daunting Longmore Forest.
The Volkswagen Rally has its base at the company's Auto Pavilion in Uitenhage, from where the rally will start. 2 stages will even be contested on tar roads, but the real test lies in the daunting Longmore Forest, around 70 kilometers inland from both Uitenhage and Port Elizabeth. Here, the drivers will face a tough test of gravel road racing and car control on superb and fast rally roads, but danger is never far away. After recording his 2nd victory of the year on the previous round, Hargen Fecken enters the second half of the championship as the points leader. But there's still a long way to go, and competition here will be fierce.
So home time event, we'd like to win it. I haven't won this rally ever, so I'm going to push quite hard.
As the only other driver besides Fecken to boast any wins, Johnny Gemmell is 2nd in the standings.
Yeah, it's close now. Hargen won 2, we've won 2. We're just 6 points behind him with the other finish we had the last event. We didn't finish too well. We had some small problems, but now we're going into the 5th event to try and make it another win this weekend.
Jan Habig is not only third on the points table, but the multiple champion is also the last Volkswagen driver to have won the Volkswagen Rally, something which he would like to repeat.
Yeah, I think, it's important for VW to do well in their own home event. The expectations are there. We'll always go out and see if we can meet the expectations.
The 2008 Volkswagen Rally was the scene for Marc Ronier's first ever victory, a performance that didn't make him very popular over at the Volkswagen camp.
We're looking back at last year with a win. It was a tremendous result for us, and obviously we want to carry that same momentum forward.
Enzo Keen is also a former Volkswagen Rally winner, and as a member of the Volkswagen squad, he will have a lot of pressure on his shoulders to once again come up with a winning performance.
Yes, I think we'd love to win, yeah, and there's a lot of momentum with Volkswagen. They spend a lot of money on marketing, they get a lot of people out, and that helps. It really builds to the momentum and the feeling on the event. There's real passionate supporters in this area.
Jean-Pierre Damso finally managed to turn his luck around by scoring a podium finish on the previous event, and like his father Serge, will now be trying to write a Volkswagen Rally victory behind his name.
This event, yeah, it's always been a bit tough for us. We've had bad luck on this event. Yeah, we'd like to sort that out and also get a good result, yeah.
Jaapie van die Kerk is eager to convert his good pace into a result and hopefully upsetting a few factory drivers in the process.
It's not a difficult rally, this. It's very fast, and we shouldn't have a problem here. And we're looking forward to see where we should be.
And Fernando Rueda has had 2 gearbox failures so far this season.
We've got a new gearbox in there for this event, but it certainly hasn't helped us. So obviously we're thrown out of a rally, as I explained last time, by a little spring. It's not good for anybody. You're not giving me time to get to know the car, and hopefully this rally will be clean and will go a lot quicker.
Charles Wilkin has won the production car category on every occasion this year and currently occupies 4th on the overall points table, while his only threat to the production car crown, Visser Du Plessis in a similar Pertec machine, was forced to retire from this year's championship due to a sports injury. With Du Plessis removed from the equation, Wilkin pretty much has the production car championship in the bag, leaving him in no man's land for this event.
We've got a bigger restrictor for this event, and I want to see what sort of difference that's going to make. So maybe we'll push on a little bit in the beginning and see where we're standing, and can make a decision on the second day.
Charles Coetzee and former rally winner Etienne Lawrence, now in the passenger seat, will go flat out to record a good result. The 2009 Volkswagen Rally will consist of 12 special stages. The total distance will be 433 kilometers, of which 175 kilometers will be against the stopwatch, including more than 100 kilometers in the Longmoor Forest. From this, the 5th round of the championship, a new rule change now sees the country's top 6-seater drivers draw for their day 1 starting positions, instead of 8 drivers like before. Since no one wants to be the first over virgin rally roads, championship leader Ergen Fecken drew a perfect 6. The Castrol Toyota teams of Marc Ronier and Johnny Gemmell would launch their VW Rally onslaught from 4th and 5th respectively, while Jean-Pierre Damso's rotten luck continued. He drew the dreaded number 1. The gravel roads of the Volkswagen Rally present a superb test for both man and machine. The battles are expected to be close, so close in fact that the organizers have now implemented a brand new timing system. For the first time in South African rallying, the stages will officially be timed down to every 10th of a second. Although the majority of the Volkswagen Rally will be contested on fast gravel roads, the teams got the opportunity to open their accounts with 2 blasts around 2 relatively short tar stages. Stage 1, or Kruisrivier on the outskirts of Uitenhage, is a short 1.46 kilometers, followed by the 5 kilometers of Winterhoek.
First off, JP Damso and Andre Vermeulen in the Total Evolution Toyota Runnix. Last year, Damso's rally ended before it even got going, when the Runnix snapped the gearbox right at the start of this very same stage. But this time, he got off the mark and recorded the first benchmark time of 11 minutes and 14 seconds. Damso then covered the 5 kilometers at Winterhoek in a time of 2 minutes and 53 seconds. After having a less than perfect season so far, former champions Enzo Keen and Guy Hodgson were desperate to achieve a good result at Volkswagen's own rally. The BP Ultimate Polo opened its account with a time of 1 minute and 14 seconds, the same as Damso on stage 1, but went 1 second faster around Winterhoek to take the temporary rally lead.
Is turn left. Now must turn left. Go left 9. Keep it going.
Jan Habig and Douglas Judd were the next ones to tackle the tar. Habig threw the second of the BP Ultimate Polos around stage 1 in a time of 1 minute and 13 seconds. The time to beat at Winterhoek was 2 minutes and 52 seconds, and although one doesn't normally make up a lot of time on short tar stages, Habig crossed the flying finish in a time of 2 minutes and 48 seconds. The battle between Volkswagen and Toyota was about to commence, where the Castrol Toyota Auris of Mark Cronier and Robert Paisley entered stage 1. Cronier is a former world go-kart and circuit racing champion, so he knows all about driving fast on tar. It showed as Cronier completed this loop of stages just 0.1 seconds slower than Habig.
This is not really tarmac stuff. This is shopping, parking lot and stuff, so it's not really a true reflection of tarmac.
Toyota then introduced their second weapon in the form of Johnny Gemmel and Peter Marsh. Gemmel has 2 victories so far this season and is a real title contender, but the second Castrol Toyota Auris got off to a conservative start, losing around 4 seconds to his teammate over these 2 stages. It was time for championship points leaders Hergen Fekken and Pierre Arries to launch their attack in the third of the BP Ultimate Polos. Fekken will be eager to record another win, but he will even be more desperate to do it for Volkswagen on their home rally. He got off to a flyer by setting a time of 1 minute and 11 seconds on stage 1, followed by another fastest time so far of 2 minutes and 48 seconds on stage 2. The production car of Charles Wilken and Greg Godrich was the first non-S2000 to tackle Friday's stages. Wilken is also a former multiple circuit racing champion, and it showed as the Cecil Konica Minolta Subaru completed stage 1 just 0.2 seconds slower than Fekken. Wilken then went on to win stage 2 by nearly 3 seconds from Fekken to take the overall rally lead.
And keep to the left, chicane to the right. Right, left, right. And left 9, left 9.
Jaapie van Niekerk and Robin Houghton were the next ones to get their rally underway. Van Niekerk and his new Africa Developments Toyota Runnix have been mixing it up with the factory teams lately and once again completed these first 2 stages right in the mix.
To T left. T left and then 150 chicane from the left.
The unsponsored Toyota Runnix of Nicholas Ryan and Jeff Tyrer was the 9th car on the road on day 1 of the Volkswagen Rally. Ryan opened his account with 2 top 10 stage times. Fernando Rueda and Kobus Frey returned to the action in their Total Evolution Toyota Runnix after missing most of the previous round due to a gearbox problem. The Spaniard completed stages 1 and 2 in a very respectable 8th position overall. He was closely followed by the Salon Group Volkswagen Polo of Thien Joubert and Henny Botha. It's Joubert's maiden season in the S2000 machine, and so far, the Polokwane businessman has impressed friend and foe with his consistency.
With only 2 short tar stages under the belt, it's still early days on the 2009 Volkswagen Rally. And although Fekken has the upper hand over his Toyota rivals, it is the production car of Charles Wilken who leads the way. After the break, the Volkswagen Rally swaps tar for gravel as the action gets dirty, and that's even before the rally reaches the Longmore Forest. Will Wilken be able to hang on to his lead? Will Volkswagen move closer to their dream of winning their own rally? Or will Toyota repeat their winning performance from last year? It's day 1 of the Volkswagen Rally. After 2 short stages on tar roads, we're about to hit the dirt. So far, Charles Wilken and his production car caught the competition off guard, but he has a string of determined S2000s breathing down his neck. The first gravel stage of the rally, Jachtvlakte, is a 17-kilometer affair on the outskirts of Uitenhage. The stage was recently scraped, making the surface smooth but also slippery, with stones and other obstacles waiting around every corner. Without any service in between, the cars will go straight to stage 4 at the Port Elizabeth Oval. The stage consists of 2 slippery laps of the oval racetrack and another 8 kilometers of the surrounding dirt roads.
Running first on the road was now definitely a disadvantage. JP Damser and Andre Vermeulen set the first time of 11 minutes and 24 seconds in their Total Evolution Runnix, before also finding the oval racetrack extremely slippery.
Car's out of control.
Enzo Keen and Guy Hodgson were pushing hard in the BP Ultimate Polo and went 4 seconds faster than Damser on Jachtvlakte, but a conservative time at the oval handed 3 of those seconds straight back to Damser. Jan Habig and Douglas Judd showed why timing the rally cars to the 10th of a second is now important, as their time was only 0.2 seconds slower than that of their BP Ultimate teammates. But on stage 4, Habig opened up the taps and recorded a time of 5 minutes and 53 seconds, a full 8 seconds faster than Keen. The stages were getting faster and faster, and Mark Clooney and Robert Paisley were flying. Split times taken halfway through stage 3 indicated that the Castle Toyota Auris was on a charge, but a scary moment towards the end of the stage cost the pair some valuable time.
Right 8 opens. Comes right 4 cut.
Fortunately, I overshot a corner and there's a bit of a yump before, so we went right over the yump into the bushes onto the other side with the front, so...
Cronje then also had to face stage 4 before the Toyota mechanics were allowed to attend to the problem. Inside the second Castle Toyota Auris, there were no such problems for Johnny Gemmel and Peter Marsh. Gemmel crossed the stage 3 flying finish in a time of 11 minutes and 7 seconds to win their first stage of the rally. The Castle Toyota driver then followed it up with yet another faster stage time on stage 4, albeit by only 1/10 of a second. On the first gravel stage of the event, Hergen Fecken and Pierre Aris pushed hard but could do nothing about Gemmel's stage-winning time. The BP Ultimate Polo was still second overall. On stage 4, Fecken was right on the pace, only losing 1/10 of a second. Charles Wilken and Greg Godrich surprised everyone by maintaining their overall lead after successfully completing the first gravel stage in the Sasol Konica Minolta Subaru. Wilken's good pace continued, and although he didn't win stage 4, he only lost a single 10th of a second to second-placed Hergen Fecken. It was a brilliant performance so far by the production car driver.
Right to the top. This is on your own here. At the 5th block. Small crest, almost immediate turn, a very tight hairpin right, the 5th block. There's the arrows. And go left 4. Go left 4.
Behind the current leaders, a fantastic battle was developing between the rest of the S2000 machines. Japie van Niekerk and Robin Houghton were holding on to a fine 6th position overall in their new Africa Developments Toyota Runnix.
But I told you after the left 6 at 120, double caution, right 9, bad rocks.
No, it's not rocks, it's bricks.
Oh, brick. Shoot me for the wrong terminology.
Van Niekerk was ahead of the hard-charging Salom Group Polo, driven by Tiens Hubert and Henny Boertes. Nicholas Ryan and Jeff Tyrer were slowly returning to form and marched on to occupy a top 10, ahead of the Team Total Evolution Toyota Runnix of Fernando Rueda and Kobus Frey, who were still struggling to find their pace.
After 4 stages but just over 30 kilometers into the rally, the production car of Charles Wilken holds on to a slender lead over championship leader Hergen Fecken. Johnny Gemmel is in the perfect position to pounce ahead of Habig, while Mark Cronje drops down the leaderboard courtesy of a 1 minute and 10-second penalty for taking lateness. Before the Volkswagen Rally, the turbo Subaru of Charles Wilkin was forced to breathe through a 32mm restrictor. But thanks to a dispensation from the organizers, the restrictor in the production car's engine was now increased to 33mm.
The car is going really well. The restrictor change has made a difference, and I think that wider power band has made maybe a bigger difference than I thought at first.
Wilkin was leading overall, but as expected, the fight between Hergen Fecken and Johnny Gemmel was a close one, with only tenths of a second separating them.
The real rally is starting now.
Yeah, it's close. Eh? That first gravel stage was quite a stage.
It is finally time to hit the Longmore Forest, for many the real start to the rally. Culturama is a 19-kilometer affair, but on beautiful, fast and flowing forest gravel roads. It's the type of stage that requires high levels of both bravery as well as insanity, and will undoubtedly set the tone for the rest of the 2009 Volkswagen Rally.
It is still only Fernando Rueda and Cobus Frey's fifth event in the Total Evolution S2000 Toyota Runnings. The Spaniard still needs some time behind the wheel, but drove well on Culturama to record the 10th fastest time. Nicholas Ryan and Jeff Tyrer crossed the 19-kilometer stage in a time of 11 minutes and 37 seconds for the 9th fastest time. Current rally leaders Charles Wilkin and Greg Godrich opted for a safer approach, perhaps a little too safe, and completed the stage in a time of 11 minutes and 28 seconds. It was good enough for 8th fastest, but dropped the production car driver out of the lead.
See Max 250 now.
Maybe I was too sideways, I don't know.
JP Damso and Andre Vermeulen were still fighting from first on the road. The Total Evolution Runnings found the conditions slippery, but still managed a fast time of 11 minutes and 24 seconds. But soon after, the Cape Townians' luck once again deserted him. On the way back to Port Elizabeth, the engine cried enough, leaving them stranded on the side of the road. It was Damso's 4th retirement in 5 events. Japie van Niekerk and Robin Houghton are getting faster and faster with every outing. The new Africa Developments Toyota Runnings enjoyed this fast stage, despite losing a rear bumper, and reached the end with the 6th fastest time.
C90, left 5 in, C90, pull your visor down. 90, left 5, right 6, left 5, right 6.
Enzo Keane and Guy Hodgson would like nothing more than to record their first podium finish of the season. The BP Ultimate Polo pushed hard on Culturama and crossed the finish in a blistering time of just 11 minutes and 14 seconds, fast enough for 5th.
80, flat crest again, flat Enzo, flat, and it continues flat, flat, 300, go flat.
The Castrol Toyota Auris of Mark Ronier and Robert Paisley had some time to make up after taking a lateness penalty due to their damaged radiator. The Auris was now fixed, and Cornier flew through stage 5 in a time of just 11 minutes and 12 seconds, the fastest so far. But just how fast could the rest of the field go? Jan Habig and Douglas Judd are both multiple champions. They are in a BP Ultimate Polo, and this is the Volkswagen Rally. So Habig pushed even harder for a remarkable time of just 11 minutes and 9 seconds, 3 seconds faster than Cornier. Going into stage 5, Hergen Fecken and Pierre Addis had a slender lead over arch rivals Johnny Gemmel and Peter Marsh. These two are not only in a battle for rally honours, but also for overall championship glory. Fecken's time of 11 minutes and 8 seconds was now the fastest so far, but would it be quick enough?
It's the first gravel stage, proper gravel stage, and I'm quite happy with that. That's not too bad.
Johnny Gemmel and Peter Marsh then really put the hammer down. The Castrol Toyota Auris won both third stages so far, and the long and scary Culturama stage was no different. Gemmel flew past the flying finish in a mind-blowing time of 11 minutes and 4 seconds to take the overall rally lead.
5 seconds quicker through here than Jan Habig, and he thought that he was going quickly. What do you think?
I think we're going a bit quicker.
From the daunting Longmore Forest, it was back to Port Elizabeth and the Nelson Mandela Bay for a blast around a short tar stage in front of thousands of fanatical fans. Traditionally, this stage at Kings Beach very rarely has an influence on the standings, but in a battle this close, a couple of tenths of a second could well make a difference.
With JP Damso now removed from the action, it was up to Enzo Keane and Guy Hodgson to be the first ones to entertain the large and enthusiastic crowd. Keane masterfully manhandled the BP Ultimate Polo around the many man-made obstacles, but spectacular is often not the fastest. It might have been a short 1.2-kilometer stage, but Jan Habig and Douglas Judd gave the rest of the field a driving lesson by setting the fastest time of 1 minute and 25.1 seconds. Time differences are usually very small on these type of stages. Less than a single second separated the Cashel Toyotas of Johnny Gemmel and Peter Marsh and Mark Lanier and Robert Paisley, as well as the Sasol Konica Minolta Subaru of Charles Walker and Greg Godrich, and the Runix of Nicholas Ryan and Jeff Tyra. With Gemmel in the rally lead and already done for the day, Fecken and Aries would have to record a time of 1 minute and 23 seconds to take the lead. It was simply not possible, and the BP Ultimate Polo ended the day 3 seconds behind the Cashel Toyota orders of Gemmel and Marsh.
This is the Volkswagen Rally, but as with so many times before, it's a Toyota that tops the leaderboard, albeit by only 3 seconds. And how fitting that the two main championship rivals are also battling it out for Volkswagen Rally honours. Habig is not far behind, followed by a great performance from the production car of Vulcan and the S2000 machines of Kuhn, Van Niekerk, Hubert, Ryan, Cronier and Rueda, who rounds off the top 10.
To drive a leading S2000 or N4 machine on the limit takes years of experience, as these expensive cars are at the pinnacle of South African rally. The final step before reaching the big time is Class A7 for front-wheel drive cars with 2-litre engines. This is where drivers like Fecken, Damse and Cronier learned their trade. Chris de Wit and Dean Redlinghuis are the current Class A7 champions, but the Total Evolution driver has had loads of bad luck so far this season. Their bad luck continued with shock absorber problems, but they still survived day one of the Volkswagen Rally and finished the day in third, exactly a minute behind the class leaders. Class A7 championship contenders Evan Hutchison and Alvin Kutsia set the initial pace in their team motorized Toyota Runix by winning 4 of the day's 6 stages. But the Runix broke a shock absorber which incurred 5 minutes of lateness and a subsequent 50-second penalty, dropping them to second in class. So on day one, Class A7 belonged to Steve van Wolken and Greg Gericke. The Panhard Seed Triton Express Volkswagen Polo has won 3 of the 4 events so far this season, and with a nearly 50-second lead going into day 2, Wolken was on course to achieve his dream of adding another class win to his name. Class A6 for front-wheel drive cars up to 2 litres is Team Total Evolution Toyota territory. Class champion Craig Trott and Robbie Kutsia were once again as consistent as always and completed a tough day one, third in class, but the class veteran found himself more than a minute behind the class lead. The Total Evolution Toyota Runix of Rodney Versage and Kellen Swan were tied on class points, with the Toyota Auris of Mohamed Musa and Grant Martin going into this event. So with everything to drive for, these two teammates set off in what was a fantastic battle for Class A6 supremacy. So far this season, Musa has been setting the pace, but after the 6 stages of day one, it was Versage who had the upper hand. His lead, however, was only 9 seconds, and with Musa determined to close the gap, the stage was set for a great fight on day 2. South Africa's entry-level class, Class A5 for City Golfs and Toyota Yaris's, is where tomorrow's champions currently learn the ropes. Former champions Gugu Zulu and Carl Peskin also lead the current points chase, but the engine under the bonnet of their BP Ultimate City Golf expired after stage 2. Current class champions Andre Kleinberg and Des de Fortier seized the opportunity to take command of the class and managed to end the day with a 31-second margin over their nearest rivals. But behind Kleinberg, there was an epic battle between a host of young and up-and-coming drivers. Cape Townian youngster Ashley Haig-Smith and Hilton Orphy and their team React Toyota Yaris completed the day in second, exactly 0.5 seconds ahead of the similar Total Evolution Yaris of Vusi Mabanga and Sean Visser. Mabanga already has a class win to his name this season, but also had the Sasol Komatipoort City Golf of Piet Bakkes and Johan Oukamp breathing down his neck, only 1.6 seconds back. For the first time in many events, Sasol's Dave Compton and Per Jordan had some opposition in Class N3 for near-standard production cars. Compton has won all 4 events so far, but this time former Northern Regions Rally champions Chad Lambert and Nick Prinsloo joined the party. Compton initially had the upper hand, but the engine in the Sasol Runix cried enough after stage 3, leaving the Lambert Steel Runix in charge of the class.
The sun is setting over Nelson Mandela Bay as the service crews scramble to repair and prepare the rally cars for the battles that lie ahead on day 2. Will Volkswagen achieve their dream of a victory on home soil? Or will Toyota turn this dream into a nightmare, like they've done?
It's very early in the morning on day 2 of the Volkswagen Rally, and once again we have a huge fight between Toyota and Volkswagen. Only 3 seconds separate the two at the top, and they are the 2 championship leaders, Hergen Vekken and Johnny Gemmel.
Johnny Gemmel starts day 2 as the leader, but 3 seconds is not nearly enough.
It's very close, eh? And we got quite a long stage today, 48 Ks.
Hergen Vekken is suffering from a cold, but will it influence the team's confidence and determination?
Driver's suffering with a bit of a cold, but we'll motivate him inside the car, and I'm sure we'll be 3 seconds up at the end of the day.
From his 3rd position overall, Jan Habig is in the perfect spot to capitalize on any mistakes by the 2 leaders.
And today it's back to usual and flat out.
Charles Wilken is happy with his position and finds himself just 21 seconds from the lead going into day 2.
Yeah, we had a good day yesterday, a few good tire stages, and we were even fast on the gravel.
The burden of being first on the road for day 2 falls on the shoulders of Enzo Keen.
I'm happy with that. Most of the roads are being rerun today, which means they've been scrubbed. I did the scrubbing on them yesterday, so it's a good job. We're happy to run first.
From Port Elizabeth's Kings Beach, the crews headed out in the direction of Uitenhage for the first gravel road test of day 2. Stage 7, Nooit Gedacht, was a repeat of stage 3 from the day before, but with the addition of a loop which added nearly 8 kilometers of stage distance, while stage 8 takes the crews back into the Longmore Forest for another run over the insanely fast Culturama stage.
First on the road is far from the ideal position from which to launch an attack. But as most of the stages on day 2 were repeats from the stages on day 1, it means that the roads have already been swept clean. Enzo Keen and Guy Hodgson were therefore not too unhappy with their road position. The BP Ultimate Polo was currently in 5th, but had its sights set on a podium position.
3rd or 4th, we're just keeping it together.
From 2nd on the road, Charles Wilken and Greg Godrich were driving hard in their effort to mix it up with the factory S2000 machines and to try and keep a charging Enzo Keen at bay. The Cecil Konica Minolta Subaru started the day just 12 seconds in front of Keen. 12 seconds became 9 after stage 7, and in stage 8, the production car driver had no choice but to relinquish his 4th position. The second BP Ultimate Polo to hit Saturday's stages was the one driven by Jan Habig and Douglas Joe. Habig was within striking distance of the lead. On stage 7, the former champion set the 2nd fastest time and went one better by equaling the fastest time on stage 8. Their problems on day 1 prevented Mark Rooney and Robert Paisley to have any chance of repeating their 2008 winning performance. But it was still a long day, and the Castrol Toyota Auris was on a mission to recover some of the lost time and to climb back up the leaderboard despite having a broken shot.
5:55 up, crest. Right 3, 5:56 in.
Yeah, thank goodness it's service now. Yeah, I was crapping myself all the way through the stage.
It was now up to Hergen Vekken and Pierre Harris to put the pressure on rally leader Johnny Gemmel. Remember, this is the rally that Volkswagen wants to win most. Early Saturday morning is usually where Vekken makes his move, and once again, that's what he did. Fastest of all on stage 7 and matching Habig's fastest time on stage 8. So the pressure was now really on the shoulders of Johnny Gemmel and Peter Marsh and their Castrol Toyota Auris. Gemmel has shown in the past that he's not fazed by any pressure, but this time it was out of his hands. As halfway through stage 7, the engine in the Auris developed a serious misfire. Gemmel pushed on regardless, but the misfire was power sapping and robbed him of a full 39 seconds, dropping him down the leaderboard and handing the lead to arch rival Vekken.
Yeah, we just got to pick up a bit of a misfire.
After 8 stages, Hergen Vekken takes command of the rally. Volkswagen now occupies 1st, 2nd and 4th, while the luckless Gemmel drops from 1st to 3rd. After the break, the Volkswagen Rally continues in the infamous Longmore Forest when the remaining crews tackle the 2nd longest stage in South African rallying. Will Toyota bounce back? Will Volkswagen's dreams of winning on home soil be shattered? Or will the Forest have the final say? Only a few stages remain in the 2009 Volkswagen Rally, but these stages still account for nearly 80 kilometers of flat-out forest racing, and a lot can happen in 80 kilometers. This is why. At 48 kilometers, stage 9, or Kingsview, is the second longest stage in South African rallying. History has shown that rallies are often won or lost on these long stages. To add to the challenge, the 48 kilometers consists of fast and flowing roads as well as rough and tricky gravel tracks, again with obstacles everywhere. Nicholas Ryan is living proof of exactly how unforgiving Kingsview can be. During the 2008 event, Ryan hit a sump rock at full speed, which threw him off the road and straight into a huge boulder. The Runix caught fire and was basically destroyed in the accident that also left his navigator Schalk van Heerden with a broken leg. Today, Ryan will have to face his fears once again.
Yeah, I've got to get these ghosts out. I've got to get these... It's been in my head since last year, honestly.
Left 3.
Enzo Keane and Guy Hodgson were lying 4th overall, but were the first ones to tackle the infamous Kingsview stage behind the wheel of the BP Ultimate Polo. As a result of Gemmel's misfire in the previous stage, Keane now had a podium finish in his sights and pushed hard. Keane survived a few moments and the long Kingsview stage to emerge from the forest in a time of 32 minutes and 1 second.
No, we got through, no flat tyre. It was very, very slippery in the front.
Charles Wilken and Greg Godrich started the Kingsview stage in 5th position, just 7 seconds behind the Polo of Keane, so they had everything to gain or to lose. Unfortunately for Wilken, the Sasol Konica Minolta Subaru lost out on this occasion as it emerged from the forest with a flat tyre and a time of 33 minutes and 50 seconds, nearly 2 minutes slower than Keane.
Fortunately, we got a puncture and had to drive 12 k's with it. And it was quite tricky, so I think I took it a little bit too easy on the puncture.
Kingsview already claimed 1 victim, and everyone wondered if this was the sign of things to come. Jan Habig and Douglas Judd were comfortably sitting in 2nd position overall, but yet again, Kingsview and its many obstacles had the final say. The BP Ultimate Polo lost around 2.5 minutes, and Habig plummeted down the leaderboard.
Went for bigger tyres that are more puncture resistant, but we got a puncture 15 k's from the end, so that was that.
So far, Kingsview was causing havoc with the front runners, opening the door for others to climb back up the leaderboard. With Wilken and Habig losing valuable time, the Castle Toyota Auris of Mark Cronje and Robert Paisley had an opportunity to do just that. But the carnage continued as Cronje also arrived at the end with damage to the Auris.
I don't know, something's broken on the rear, I don't know. It's just one of those rallies, you know, nothing's going right. But...
Rally leaders Hergen Fecken and Pierre Aries were now well into the demanding stage. They only needed to reach the end without any trouble to maintain their lead. But onlookers could not believe their eyes when the BP Ultimate Polo arrived at the end with a lock lodged in its grille. Somehow it managed to miss every vital part and didn't cause any major damage, allowing Fecken to still set the fastest time.
There are a few places where trees are on the verge of the road, so I might have picked up something.
Johnny Gemmel and Peter Marsh lost their lead early in the day due to the power-sapping misfire. But for Kingsview, the Castle Toyota Auris was once again firing on all cylinders. Gemmel was more than 40 seconds off the current rally lead, but blitzed through the 48 kilometers of Kingsview in a blistering time of 31 minutes and 29 seconds, a full 16 seconds faster than Fecken, rocketing himself back into 2nd position overall and reducing the gap to Fecken to just 27 seconds.
Oh, nice days there, beautiful. Maybe we should come back here.
Japie van Niekerk and Robin Houghton were having a fantastic day behind the wheel of the new Africa Developments Toyota Runix. Not only did van Niekerk survive Kingsview, but he also set the 4th fastest stage time and moved into 5th position overall.
Into left 4 tightens to left 8. Left 4 tightens to left 8.
It was time for Nicholas Ryan to face his fears and drive the same stage that so nearly ended his rally career 12 months ago. It was nervous moments, but Ryan and Jeff Tyrer emerged from Kingsview unscathed, setting the 5th fastest time in the process.
Yeah, I'm glad it's true. I'm glad I'm at the end of that stage. The demons are nearly gone.
Fernando Rueda and Kobus Frey also suffered from a misfire, which prevented the Spaniard from going any faster. The Total Evolution Toyota Runix soldiered on regardless and completed Kingsview in 9th position overall.
What can I say? You know, it's rallying, but I suppose engineering too. I don't know what else to say.
The Volkswagen Rally has already taken its contestants to hell and back, and after 9 stages, Fecken is still in the lead, but Gemmel clawed his way back into second, just 26 seconds behind. Habich drops from second to fourth, but with Green in third, Volkswagen occupies 3 of the top 4 positions. After the carnage that was Kingsview, the rally cars got the opportunity to have their wounds healed. Fecken was happy to still be in the lead.
A good stage. I think Johnny took a bit of time out of us, but we're quite happy with that. We've got a bit of a lead now.
Over at Toyota, Gemmel was back in the fight, hoping that the misfire was now a thing of the past and preparing for his final onslaught.
Still 2 gravel stages to go. I don't think it's going to be enough. It's only, I think, 30 Ks. But we'll be going hard still.
The end of the Volkswagen Rally is in sight. The remaining crews had one last chance in the Longmore Forest to influence the results on stage 10, a repeat of Culturama but in the opposite direction, before heading out of the forest for another run on the Port Elizabeth Oval racetrack.
With only 2 gravel stages remaining, it was time to jockey for final positions. Ken Subban and Henny Boerters have finished all 4 events so far this season, but unfortunately for them, the Salom Group Polo went off the road in day 2 and out of the rally. Sisters Lola and Megan Verloc, or the Rally Chicks, sported a brand new livery on their S2000 Volkswagen Polo. The Verlocs have their sights set on the African Rally Championship, but still found the time to travel to the Eastern Cape to contest round 5 of the Sasol South African Rally Championship. They had a solid and steady run, which ended in 11th position overall. Fernando Rueda and Kobus Frey's frustrations continued as the misfire under the bonnet of the S2000 Total Evolution Runnix persisted, but at least the popular Spaniard survived the rally to record another top 10 finish. Rueda ended 9th overall. Eighth overall was a satisfying result for the never say die attitude of Nicholas Ryan and Jeff Tyra. The former production car champion has had a tough time since moving to the Premier S2000 class in his unsponsored Runnix, but conquered Kingsview nonetheless, a feat that can only assist in getting his confidence back for the future. Charles Wilkin and Greg Godrich became the first champions of the 2009 season by wrapping up the production car title for the 2nd successive year. With 5 wins from 5 rallies, the Sasol Konica Minolta Subaru enjoyed a perfect run so far. And with the production car title now in the bag, Wilkin will now target the podium on the remaining 3 events of the season. Their excellent pace on Friday served as a preview of the team's abilities, but the punch on Kingsview prevented them from finishing any better than 7th overall. Last year's winning combination, Mark Cronje and Robert Paisley, lost their chances of competing for another victory during Friday's stages. The Castrol Toyota Auris was wounded for the rest of the event, but Cronje pushed on in an effort to climb back up the leaderboard, displaying the same speed that saw him win last year's event. But in the end, 6th position overall was a disappointing result for Toyota and the defending Volkswagen Rally champion. There was absolutely nothing disappointing about the performance of Japie van Niekerk and Robin Houghton in their new Africa Developments Toyota Runnix. Van Niekerk is usually one of the more consistent drivers around, but has enjoyed an indifferent season so far with a few accidents during earlier rounds. But in the Eastern Cape, the Pretoria businessman was back in form and drove beautifully to record another finish, and a good one at that, 5th overall. Their misfortunes on the previous stage dropped Jan Habich and Douglas Judd from 2nd overall down to 4th. This setback did not go down well with the multiple champions, and on stage 10, Habich opened up the taps and won the 19.2 kilometer stage to move 8 seconds closer to 3rd position. BP Ultimate teammates Enzo Keen and Guy Hodgson were currently in 3rd, but were running out of stage distance and therefore opportunities to do anything about Gemmel in 2nd and Fecken in 1st. Keen could also not afford a mistake, as teammate Habich was also not too far behind. Argen Fecken and Pierre Aries entered stages 10 and 11 with a 26-second lead over arch rival Johnny Gemmel. If both have clean and trouble-free runs, 26 seconds will probably prove to be enough, so Fecken drove cautiously in an effort to not take any risks and to hang on to his lead. It was now up to Johnny Gemmel and Peter Marsh. The Castrol Toyota Auris had less than 30 kilometers in which to try and make up 26 seconds on Argen Fecken. It's not impossible, but a tough ask. But before Gemmel could even attempt to attack, it returned. The dreaded misfire was back, taking the wind out of Gemmel's sails and bringing an end to his challenge.
We can't hold on to third at the moment, but I think...
Think you managed?
I don't think so.
The luckless Gemmell lost almost 40 seconds in stage 10 and another 30 seconds on stage 11. Fecken's lead is now untouchable. Kuhn inherits second position, but in a most dramatic turn of events, Hubby finds himself just 1.2 seconds from a third position. What this means is that not only is Volkswagen in an excellent position to win their home rally, but a BP Ultimate Volkswagen 123 is now a very definite possibility. It's something that's never been done before and will be an amazing achievement and a dream come true.
123 in the Volkswagen Rally is now a possibility. We won't say it will happen, but yeah, we first have one stage to do, 1 kilometer that counts.
This is the final battleground. Just 1.2 kilometers of Kings Beach tarmac in front of thousands of fans.
The final podium of the 2009 Volkswagen Rally still had to be decided, while the drivers further down the field were also still gunning for class glory. For up-and-coming drivers, a class victory is as good as it gets, especially in Class A7, the premier front-wheel drive class. Defending class champions Chris de Wit and Dean Redlinghuis have enjoyed many class victories in the past, but the Total Evolution team could do nothing more than to settle for third. Aspiring class champions Stefan Wilken and Greg Gericke had a commanding class lead going into day 2 of the event. The Panhard Seed Striken Express Polo had a 50-second advantage over the team motorized Toyota Runnix of Evan Hutchison and Alvin Coetzee. Wilken eased off from the long stage 9, a decision that led to an overshoot and a slow stage time. It was exactly the opportunity that Hutchison was waiting for. The former Special Vehicles off-road racing champion launched his attack on stage 9 and put in one of the best performances of his entire rally career. His attack caught the opposition off guard as he managed to turn a more than a minute deficit into a class lead. Although Stefan Wilken threw everything he had at the motorized Runnix over the late stages, Hutchison held on to claim an excellent 10th overall and his maiden rally class win to go with a string of victories in the National Off-Road Series.
Yeah, we're really happy. It's been a year and a half, and we've come close a couple of times. This year's been filled with second places. Good win for Motor Rights and a good win for me, yeah.
The trio of Team Total Evolution Toyotas continued their dominance of Class A6 during the 2-day Volkswagen Rally. Craig Trott and Robbie Coetzee had their fair share of problems in the long stage 9 when the gearbox in their Runnix broke. But Trott kept it going with lots of gearbox oil and by only using first, second and fifth gears. They reached the Kings Beach finish third in class. The Total Evolution Aurus of Mohamed Musa and Grant Martin started the day second in class, but quickly moved into the lead after some storming drives on the day's opening stages. But once again, Kingsview had a say. The Aurus punctured a tire, forcing Musa to stop and to change the wheel. Nearly 3 minutes, and the class victory was lost. Stage 9 was tough on all the Class A6 cars as the Total Evolution Runnix of Rodney Versage and Callan Swan broke an engine mounting and a power steering pump. Somehow, Versage still managed to bring the car to the end for another Class A6 victory and a win that also hands him the lead in the class championship.
Yeah, I know, very happy, but it didn't come easy. Mohamed and I were fighting all day long, very tough.
The Class A5 podium was once again hotly contested by a number of promising young drivers. Vusi Mabanga and Sean Visser are becoming real contenders for Class A5 honours after scoring yet another podium position. Mabanga's third place was the third consecutive podium for the Total Evolution Toyota Yaris driver. Piet Bakkes and Johan Oukamp were unlucky not to win the previous event in their Sasol Komatipoort Volkswagen City Golf, but made up for it with a fine second position here in the Eastern Cape. But there was nothing he could do about the pace of defending Class A5 champions Andre Kleinwerk and Des de Fortier. Kleinwerk has had some bad luck this year, but the BP Ultimate City Golf ran flawlessly all weekend to record a fine Class A5 win, a welcome return to the top step of the class podium.
It feels good to be back, especially PE. It's been eluding us for the past couple of years, and it actually feels nice to get here to the end and also to take the class win as well.
As the only finisher, Class N3 belonged to former Northern Regions rally champions Chad Lambert and Nick Prinsloo. It was Lambert's maiden class win in the National Series.
And it was a very nice event, very fast, very loose, quite a scary event, but it was very nice to do.
So, a maiden win for Evan Hutchison over Stefan Wilken in Class A7, while Pasaki got the better of Musa in Class A6. Kleinwerk returns to the top of Class A5 ahead of Buckers and Mabanga, and Lambert is the only Class N3 survivor. Back at Kings Beach, the final podium of the Volkswagen Rally is still to be decided. Fecken and Keen look certain to claim first and second, but behind them there's only 1.2 seconds separating Johnny Gemmel in third from Jan Habig in fourth. Or more importantly for Volkswagen, only 1.2 seconds between VW and an emphatic 1-2-3. Normally, a 1 kilometer spectator line stage is not enough to influence the results, but today could be different.
I see on this event they're doing the timing system to 0.1 of a second.
We're third by 1.2 from Jan and have a, as you would say, a final shootout.
1.2 kilometers is all that stood between Hergen Fecken and Pierre Arries and their third victory of the season. The 1.2 kilometers flew past in just 1 minute and 18.9 seconds, earning the current champions a well-deserved victory. Mission accomplished so far for Volkswagen. But they weren't done yet, as Volkswagen was on the brink of making history. Enzo Keen and Guy Hodgson completed the stage in a time of 1 minute 18.4 seconds. Podium step number 2 was now also in the bag. But who would claim the final step? Jan Habig and Douglas Judd needed to beat Gemmel by 1.3 seconds, and in typical Habig fashion, the multiple champion won the final stage in a time of 1 minute and 18.2 seconds. But would it be enough? It was now in the hands of Johnny Gemmel and Peter Marsh, who bravely entered the final stage in their quest to defend just 1.2 seconds. But it wasn't to be, as the dreaded misfire returned to hammer the final nail into Gemmel's coffin. The seconds ticked by as third place was lost.
Fecken claims his third victory of the season by a full 59 seconds from teammate Kuhn and extends his championship lead over title rival Gemmel. Habig snatched the final podium position in the last minute, beating Gemmel by a mere 5 seconds. Toyota occupies 6 positions out of the top 10, but Volkswagen owns the 3 that matter most.
That's a fantastic achievement for us, the team. We fought for 26 years for this moment to win 1, 2, 3, first, second, third position in our home rally, so it's fantastic for the team.
History was made with Volkswagen celebrating not only an emphatic victory on home soil, but also a first ever 1-2-3 for the same team. A dream result. Hergen Fecken and Pierre Arries now celebrate their third win of the season, and with this victory establish themselves as favourites to win their second Sasol South African Rally Championship.
Obviously it's good for us in the championship. It puts us on a bit of a better footing for the rest of the year, and obviously winning is good.
It was a very welcome return to the podium for Enzo Keen and Guy Hodgson, who tasted champagne for the first time this season.
And it's just great to be on the VW Rally, 1, 2, 3. I think it's a first time ever. The cars stuck together, and like the boss says, we made our own luck.
Jan Habig and Douglas Judd normally prefer to spray champagne from higher up on the podium, but on this occasion, Habig was more than satisfied with third.
Yeah, I think 1, 2, 3 for VW on their own rally, I think is a significant milestone, and it's great for the team and the spirit in the team as well, and the guys have worked very hard and they deserve the result.
Charles Wilken and Greg Godrich not only won the production car category, but the Sasol Konica Minolta driver also wrapped up his second production car title in the process.
It looks good for the future. Maybe the last 3 rallies we can attack a bit and see if we can maybe get a...
World-renowned leisure